More of a look back on 1993, a year so good in Christian music that even I, your Z-Buzz guy, get tongue-tied. In 1993, Michael W. Smith celebrated a decade in Christian music. Michael came back on the scene being known as Amy Grant's keyboardist, and he played what was known back then as a synthesizer. In 10 years, Michael has written some of the most memorable songs in Christian music, including Friends. In 1993, Michael released 2 new projects. The Wonder Years was a double CD project of Michael's hits, and another album on reunion called The First Decade. That CD reached the top of the Billboard charts in December. In 1993, Michael also released the Change Your World live video. You can see the song Give It Away from that project regularly on Z Music, like you see it right there. Change Your World live became a #1 selling video, and Michael's concert tour was one of the year's best attended. Michael W. Smith showed us in 1993 that after 10 years, he's still at the top of the charts. His buddy, Amy Grant, got famous writing and recording songs in modern recording studios. But her big release in 1993 got its inspiration from a barn.
It started as one of Nashville's best-kept secrets, a special time of singing, sharing, and teaching at the Chapman Farm.
Sounds kind of silly, but it was kind of like Field of Dreams. If you build it, they'll come.
For about 2 hours once a week, Amy, Gary, and the rest of the Gray Shirts, as they called themselves, shared songs, skits, and teaching with area kids in the loft of the barn. They didn't advertise and offered it as a gift to anyone aged 13 to 22 looking for encouragement. Now a larger audience can become a part of the loft with a new project released by Reunion. Songs from the Loft features many of the artists who visited through the years and the songs they brought with them. Michael W. Smith and Susan Ashton are some of the guests on the album. Amy says the album captures the inspiring power of the Loft.
On a personal level, the Loft was really great for me to know that kids were walking in and it was no money out of their pocket for us to sing together and to write a bunch of songs that didn't have a whole lot of pressure. Would these make it, you know, in the video world? They made it in the barn, and that was what was important.
A beautiful release from Amy Grant and Friends. Look for Songs from the Loft on Reunion Records in stores now. Look for Amy Grant's brand new pop album to be released next year. And did we mention that Amy Grant's Christmas album, the best-selling of all Christmas albums in 1993? You can't argue with success, but you can try new things. That's what Christian music's most famous rock band did in 1993. Petra was at the height of their success this year, but they thought they'd make a few changes anyway.
Petra has been around as long as Christian rock music itself. The band has changed as much as the industry. The most noticeable change took place when Petra's most noticeable member left the band. Greg Voles left in the mid-'80s to pursue a solo career. John Schlitz stepped in and is now the lead vocalist. Petra is now changing its sound. Its last few albums were produced by John and Dino Elefante, including Unseen Power, which won a Grammy Award. But expect something different this time around from Amy Grant's producer, Brown Bannister.
It's a whole new formula, and I think it's going to really show. I mean, it's going to be a different album. It's going to be an album I think people are going to very much enjoy. I'm excited about it. I haven't been excited about a Petra album in a while at this stage, and I already am, and I think it's going to be a good album.
Well, it's released now. We spoke with John Schlitz there weeks before. They debuted their new album on Dayspring. In 1993, Petra turned 21 years old. Well, this was the year that Steve Taylor resurfaced, 5 years after his last solo release. Steve released his new CD, Squint, in November, along with video clips he shot all over Asia and Europe. Squint is a clear-eyed, cutting-edge statement of belief, though it's not as cutting as you might expect. Steve may have mellowed a bit in 1993. One song called Bannerman is actually a fond tribute to those who hold up banners at sporting events. But you will still hear Steve calling it as he sees it, to the tune of some great grooves. Steve debuted the video single to Bannerman on Z Music in November. It's one of 6 music videos Steve plans to put together with film shot in Europe, the Near East, the Far East, the Middle East, even Vietnam. Keep your eyes and your mind open in 1994. Steve's comeback is just beginning. Look for Squint on Warner Alliance in stores now. Well, 1993 was a big year for Steven Spielberg and his dinosaurs. It was also a big year for evolution. But I'm not speaking of Darwin's evolution. I'm speaking of Jeff Moore's new album, Evolution, on Forefront. On his new album, Jeff introduced his own theory of evolution.
Jeff's kind of evolution is the positive change Christ brings to our lives. The video combats the widely accepted belief in evolution and affirms belief in a creator. The video has kept up with computer evolution, as you see there. It's the first Christian music video to use morphing. Evolution is Jeff's 8th album. He has steadily climbed the Christian music ladder. He co-wrote The Great Adventure, gospel music's Song of the Year for 1992, and his album A Friend Like You was nominated for a Grammy. Jeff started humbly, though, hemming pants in Nashville. He recorded his first album almost exactly 1 year after he arrived in Nashville. He says it was all a matter of God's timing.
I tell people a lot of times when they come and ask me about how to get started in that the important thing is that we are obedient step by step to what God wants us to do. Not so much that we define success by everybody else's terms, but we define success by God's terms.
Nicely put. Jeff's concept video for Evolution Redefined also won the Billboard Award for Christian Video Clip of the Year. Quite a year for Jeff Moore and his band The Distance. And if saving the best for last is true, we certainly saved one of the best Christian artists of the year to end our special Z-Buzz Flashback. It's Jeff Moore's, one of his best friends. For Stephen Curtis Chapman, no other single year since his appearance in the mid-'80s could top 1993. Between having his Great Adventure CD go gold, releasing his new album The Live Adventure, and appearing with the Young Messiah Tour, Stephen has barely had time to notice his milestone achievements. This year, Stephen captured a Grammy Award and an armful of Dove Awards. But Stephen says for him, the greatest reward is knowing his music is saving souls.
It's, you know, getting the letter from the guy who said, I brought this girl with me to your concert who was not a Christian, and, you know, the next morning she called me. She didn't do anything at your concert when you gave the altar, you know, the invitation or anything, but the next morning this friend called me who said, hey, have you heard, you know, our friend last night gave her life to the Lord, and you know, get letters like that and things. Those are the real memorable moments, the things that I look back at and remember and are real thankful for.
Following up on his own act in 1993 will be tough, but he's working on it. Right now, Stephen's writing songs for his new album, which we'll see on Sparrow Records sometime in 1994. And did someone mention the Great Adventure video? Dove Award winner for Best Short Form Video this year. It's Z Music's favorite video, too, because it was the first video ever aired on this 24-hour Christian music video network. You can mention a lot of first evers when talking about Z Music. Z Music is a dramatic indication that the Christian music industry is exploding in growth. Viewers of over 300 cable systems and 45 broadcast stations tune in daily to watch their favorite Christian music videos. They also phone in to order Christian lifestyle products, further expanding the industry. We want to thank our audience, that's you, for helping to make Z Music possible. We did it. We made history. Well, you're watching our flashback on 1993. We'll be right back.